Genesis 10:8 and 9 introduces us to the first terrorist. His name was Nimrod, and the Bible says he was a mighty hunter. If you read what he did, you realize he hunted men in their cities. We've written a lot about Nimrod in our book Noah, but the Bible also introduces us to another mighty power on the earth, the Assyrians. They used terror as a psychological weapon, blinding, beheading, dismembering, burning, flaying, impaling. They carved their terror onto walls, monuments, and tablets so that those who weren't eyewitnesses would be reminded. It was a successful technique for them, and they used it to subdue and extend their territories. The Assyrian Empire was a formidable enemy of the Jews, but one Israelite king gained their attention, and they made his name famous. Let's find out which Israelite king it was and why they honored him. Israel began as a united kingdom under Saul and David, but it ended up splitting into a northern and southern kingdom after Solomon's reign, actually during the reign of Solomon's son. In the divided kingdom, things began to get unsteady again in the north after Baasha's reign. Baasha's son was killed by the commander of the army, a man named Zimri, but Zimri reigned for only 7 days when his army found out and crowned another general named Omri king. Omri and the whole army marched toward Tirzah, the capital of the northern kingdom at the time, to fight Zimri. But Zimri heard they were coming, and so he set fire to the palace while he was still in it. He died in the fire. He committed suicide, but the chaos didn't end there. Half the northern kingdom wanted a man named Tibni to be king, so a civil war of sorts broke out. Omri's men proved to be stronger. They were the army, after all, and after 4 years of war, Tibni was killed. So Omri became king. He was possibly from the tribe of Issachar, but we don't know for sure. Omri has a famous reputation in texts outside the Bible. He was known as a powerful king who expanded his kingdom and brought stability to it. He made peace with Judah and Lebanon and Damascus. He began to enlarge his territory by taking over his neighbors, like the Moabites. He moved the capital from Tirzah to Samaria, probably because Samaria was better situated for its defense. Tirzah is Tel El Farah, which has been excavated and shows signs of fire. At Samaria, a palace was found in 1908 by the archaeologists George Reisner and Kathleen Kenyon. Omri reigned for only 12 years, but he accomplished a lot in those years. He's featured on the Mesha stele, which is also known as the Moabite stone. He's featured there because he took over Moabite territory. Mesha, the Moabite king, says, Omri was the king of Israel, and he oppressed Moab for many days. And then the stele goes on to tell what Omri and his son did. To the Assyrians, Omri became known for the land he ruled. Assyrians called the northern kingdom Omri-land. The Assyrians also immortalized him in inscriptions like the Nimrod slab, the Kala fragment, the Kerbal stone, and the Asher stone for the house of Omri. He's also featured on the black obelisk because it lists Jehu as the son of Omri. But Jehu wasn't related to Omri, so why did the Assyrians call him a king from the house of Omri? The Assyrians seem to have honored Omri because in their eyes he founded the northern kingdom. Under Omri, the northern kingdom became a regional power. Perhaps Assyria saw this as the beginning of the northern kingdom, which is why they called it Omri-land. They continued to call it Omri-land and to refer to its king as the house of Omri long after Omri's dynasty ended. The Bible, however, doesn't give Omri the same notoriety. He reigned for 12 years and he's given about 12 verses. 1 Kings 16 sums up his reign like this. And Omri did evil in the eyes of the Lord, even worse than all those before him, copying all the evil ways of Jeroboam the son of Nebat, and all the sins he did and made Israel do, moving the Lord, the God of Israel, to wrath by their foolish ways. And then the section on Omri ends with these ominous words, and Ahab his son became king in his place. Now you might remember the infamous Bonnie and Clyde of the Old Testament, Ahab and Jezebel. 1 Kings 21 says, but there was none like unto Ahab, which did sell himself to work wickedness in the sight of the Lord, whom Jezebel his wife stirred up. Ahab, like his father, was no jewel in the crown of the northern kingdom. Omri was the only one of his dynasty to die a natural death. His dynasty ended with the reign of the evil queen mother, Athaliah. But one reason Omri was honored by the Assyrians surrounding Israel was because he was like them. He valued their gods and their morals. Power impressed the Assyrians. They saw Omri's power and respected it, not realizing he was rotting in his soul. They didn't realize it because they were rotting too. But Omri and the kings of the northern kingdom were not good friends with Assyria. Tiglath-Pileser III and Shalmaneser V would prove that again very soon. We'll talk about that in the next video. I'll see you then.